Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Just lost for words today. Fucking just lost for words. This club just baffles the life out of me. To my right is Lucas, and all the way back from holiday is that man, WestHamOnline.
Hello.
Alf, I'm going to start off with you. News today. Talk to me.
I went off my phone for about 40 minutes. I came back and I saw that the one player who I was happy about us signing, and it looks like it was done. He was just apparently on holiday. What a lie that was. We can't get that over the line. He's going to a club that can barely afford a vending machine. We can't even afford to pay agent fees over a Dutch club.
Yeah, I know. I've just done a space, mate. If I lose it, I'm going to lose it proper. So I don't want to lose it. Lucas, talk to me.
Mate, I don't even know where to begin. I was on the space for about 5 minutes because I needed to get it off my chest, but I'm absolutely seething, to be honest with you. And it frustrates me more, right, when I put out a tweet the other day saying, basically, please put us out of our misery, with a picture of Daniel Kretinsky. And there's the comment saying, did that all go through? Because I don't know if my connection's messing up or not. But basically, put out a tweet saying, please put us out of our misery, with a picture of Daniel Kretinsky. And I've got people under the tweet basically saying that he's the same as Sullivan. He's worse than Sullivan. He wouldn't do better than Sullivan. He's just another one of them. Mm-hmm. Hold your head in absolute shame is all I have to say to those people. The fact that you can judge a minority shareholder who hasn't even had the chance to own West Ham, the fact that you can say that, I think, is absolutely ridiculous. And then this happens. Mate, it's an absolute joke. And David Sullivan is the biggest joke going. This would not happen under Daniel Kretinsky's watch. I would bet my whole family's life on it. I'm not even kidding. That is honestly embarrassing. The way he runs this club is it's an absolute joke. And people that are saying this whole time that it's a Moyes issue with some of this stuff, what a load of bollocks. It's so bad. Like, and I've been saying this. Like, what can David Moyes do about that? What can he do about that?
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try and get people on tonight, because I want to hear what
how are people blaming Moyes in the chat, by the way?
First off, I'm just going to say yourself, First off, this is not on Moyes. It's coming from me straight away. This is on Sullivan all day long, If you can't get a £14 million deal over the line and refusing to pay agents' fees, then we've got serious problems, Someone just said in the chat he's 19, he wouldn't have got a game. He would have got a game at West Ham because we're fucking shit at the minute. Let's be real, right? So this is not on Moyes, I feel Moyes is being backed into a corner, and Sullivan, he's trying to literally make it so bad for Moyes that Moyes ends up walking. That's what I do believe, Now, whatever I feel on David Moyes is my opinion, Moyes isn't the man for West Ham in regards to style of play, But if you want style of play, it's just not the right thing. But I'm going to say this quite clearly: David Sullivan needs to be thrown out the fucking door, head first, with his Russian hat on, and literally driven as far away from the East End of London as humanly possible. The man is a problem. He's becoming a problem at West Ham United.
He's an absolute disgrace of an owner.
And people need to understand that he is the problem of the whole situation, right? I can't hear about Kretinsky because Kretinsky isn't the majority shareholder, David Sullivan is the majority shareholder. So the final word goes with David Sullivan, How can we go from winning a trophy 52 days ago to now losing a lot of players? People are making up so much fucking shit on social media, even TalkSport making up so much shit about players wanting to leave, and it's not good. It's not good, right? This falls on Sullivan Now, whatever opinion you've got on Moyes, I understand it because I'm with you. But the first person at the top of the fucking tree is David fucking Sullivan. And you need to throw that cunt out the door as soon as possible. He needs to be gone. Yeah? He's a problem. He's a problem to West Ham as a whole. Yeah? Because good clubs don't act like this in a fucking transfer market. They just don't. Yeah? And people need to understand that. My words are gone. They really need to understand that Sullivan is the root of the problem at the end of the day. And that is it from me. Right? You can say about Moyes, and I'm with you. Yeah? Because I agree. Yeah? But Sullivan is the problem that we need to get rid of first. Yeah? And that is it on me. Al, what do you want to say?
I think Moyes is being thrown under the bus here, and I think we are going to, if we don't sign anyone soon, we are going to do bad this season, and Moyes will get the blame from people because he's the manager. But, I think this is yet another reason why I say Moyes has overachieved massively at West Ham. He's under what I truly believe, the worst owners in the league.
Right.
They've a training ground which is equivalent of my local Sunday League side. We get changed in literal toilets. We do ice baths in toilets. We didn't even have a scouting system at all until Moyes arrived.
We had one scout on the books at one point. One.
Just because Sullivan has given Moyes the money, which he has, I will admit that he has given Moyes money in the past. That doesn't mean that he's done a good job. Moyes has carried Sullivan. We have to remember what position we were in when he hired Pellegrini. Mate,
Alf, that makes David Sullivan, or not David Sullivan, that makes Moyes look too good because you can't say that.
He's carried Sullivan, and
can't call a spade, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing is, at the moment we are going to do terrible this season. With or without Moyes, we at the moment our midfield two is going to be Soucek and Flynn Downs, which, let's be honest, is not good enough at all. We've still got the same attack, no improvements. Still got the same defence, no improvements. So we're in huge trouble. I don't know. I've seen people saying about us getting relegated. Obviously,
I don't think we're going to get relegated. I agree with you, Alf. Yeah. And listen, me and you very rarely agree on shit, but on this, I do fucking agree with you 100%. I don't think we're going to get relegated, but we're going to have some fucking shit this year, big time. I'm fucking nervous, mate. I'm really. I should not be nervous. Right? As a club, we should not be nervous on this. We've just won a trophy. This should be our breakout fucking moment. And we've got a cunt in charge who just doesn't know what he's doing. He just does not know.
It's so West Ham, mate. Like Ibby said on the space. Like, I can only just rub my hands and laugh at this because this is so incredibly West Ham, and West Ham will forever be a meme club, a banter club, and just a joke of an establishment as long as David Sullivan owns this club. And that's just a fact because he is an absolute cancer to this club. He doesn't deal in anything professionally. We've got Karen Brady negotiating deals who doesn't know an absolute lick about football. It's horribly run, as we've all known, but this, and I'm not trying to make a huge deal over Carlos Borges, but it's more than just the player. Like, this is an absolute joke. If this happened with someone like Lucas Paqueta or even let's say Edson Alvarez, I think this could be worse because it's so disgusting in my opinion, and just the judgment that people make before something even happens or becomes to reality just blows my mind. Like, I still can't get over people saying that Kretinsky would be a worse owner than David Sullivan or the same. I could not disagree more, and I'm seething about it, man. I'm really trying not to lose my head, but it's a joke. This club is an absolute joke.
Well, I'm going to say this. In about 5 minutes or 10 minutes time, I'm going to get people on. Anyone wants to come on, speak to us, by all means, come on. I want to hear what you've got to say. Yeah, because it ain't good. It's not good. It's not good for me. It's not good for Lucas. It's not good for WestHamOnline. It's not good for any of us. Right? This is not a good moment at West Ham right now. And I'll never forget when I spoke to Gio. Yeah, and Joe said the same thing as what I said. Yeah, and he had the same fears as what I had, and it's just not good. But Clive, what do you want to say, man?
Hello. I mean, this is just typical West Ham, innit? It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, but like I think it's the pot calling the kettle black, so to speak, because I think we're all blaming Sullivan, right? Which it is. I'm not saying it's not him, but we can't be going, GSB out and saying that it's now just Sullivan. Sullivan's percentage has gone down regardless, compared to when it was just GSB, for instance. But I don't think Kretinsky's any better. I mean, yes, he has one less share, but
Come on, Clive.
No. Think about it. Why is he so silent? He only has one share vote less than Sullivan and Gold combined. One less. You're telling me someone who's allegedly trying to buy the remainder of the club at some point in the next 18 months isn't able to pull out a finger. Bear in mind, if he wanted to put his own money in, like say if he just wanted to give a 200 million loan to the club in order to buy players, he actually could, and he hasn't. So I'm sorry.
What can he do? What can he do?
He can literally do what I just said. He does own a percentage. He's the second
majority or
highest
minority.
He's got more of a majority than Gold does.
Okay.
He's dead.
Yeah, but the Gold estate still owns a percentage. Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah, but that family, like Gold, is dead. So I don't think you can really regard the family like.
You can because one of them's a director.
Well, he's had no choice.
No, he was already a director beforehand, mate. Look up the directors and look when he was. It's fucking, what's it called? David Gold's fucking daughter, the one who passed. It's her husband, and he's been a director since basically day dot.
Yeah, but the problem is, Clive, with that, I don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying, but the final word goes with David Sullivan.
Yes, the final word does. The final word has always gone with David Sullivan because Gold had less of a percentage.
I will use this as an example, yeah? As a sort of an example. It's like doing something on this channel, right? All the boys will say their bit, but the final word goes with me.
Yeah, but but I think you're misunderstanding my issue. So my issue is, right, we've always said GSB out, yes?
Right.
Yeah. And who's been the majority owner in that situation? At the whole period. Yeah, bingo. So why is it GSB out but not GSBK out? I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, he still has a large percentage.
I don't know, because people don't know enough about Kretinsky at this point.
But that's the thing, right? That people say they don't know enough. But look, if you look at his dealings, and I put it on the chat earlier just before I came up, right? His dealings are not much better. Raw Mail is where he's got a large percentage of ownership.
Yeah,
Raw
you are right.
Raw Mail are shit and fucking struggling with money and capital. And then you look at Sainsbury's, for instance, right? He failed to get a merger with Sainsbury's and another supermarket. I've forgotten what the other supermarket was. So far, his two biggest British ownerships that he has have been utter failures.
And Clive, Slavia Prague fans, I think Sparta Prague fans really don't like him.
Yeah. And I'm not saying let's dip it away from Sullivan. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, but he seems to be very quiet for the second majority owner of the club, and he seems to be very quiet overall. I think he's just letting Sullivan to look bad, but the ultimate issue I have is we could be going from bad to still bad when Sullivan goes.
I understand what you're saying, Clive, I do, yeah? But you've got to understand this. The final word goes with Sullivan. So if you don't know...
100%. 100%. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying I don't think Kretinsky at the moment is showing much better promise at the moment, which is a concern. So I think even if we lose Sullivan, we could end up being in a situation where it's still shit.
Let me turn this around, for instance, right? But then would you have said that with Gold? When Gold was with you would have said the same thing. You wouldn't have said as much of the same thing with Gold in regard to...
I would have. I do think Gold was a better fan than Sullivan. Like, I know we've seen people go, "Oh, well, the wrong David died," and I wouldn't wish death on anyone and whatnot. But I do think he was the slightly better owner. But ultimately he was still a Sullivan puppet, wasn't he? So ultimately, it's the same game, right? It doesn't necessarily matter.
He was, and I agree with. I understand that, but then you can't have one without the other. Like
exactly.
Right. But then you can't say that Sullivan wasn't to blame.
I'm not saying but I'm not. My point is the fact that we said it was all of the ownership before, and I'm saying that I do think in this extent we should be suggesting it's the whole ownership again, because ultimately, right? Think about it. Let's say Sullivan sells in 12 months' time, right? Regardless, right? Let's say that's the case. You're telling me that Kretinsky has not had a single part of saying that Newman or the other fella should be coming in. I've forgotten his name, Steinben. Because ultimately, looking at the future of the club, Kretinsky would have a bigger interest of the future if he's going to be the next 100% owner of West Ham. So you're also, that would then be saying, you know, Sullivan, in my eyes, surely would have been like, well, Kretinsky, if you're going to be taking the rest of the ownership in 12 months' time, what are you thinking about Newman and what are you thinking about Steiden? And to me, that would suggest then surely, I'm not saying that Sullivan isn't to blame. I'm just saying I think there's more than just Sullivan. I think ultimately the whole directorship, the whole hierarchy is an absolute tip. It's a shithole. It's an absolute. It's a mess. But my point is, I just don't think it's only Sullivan. I genuinely think Kretinsky's also at fault.
Yeah, again though, I understand that. But yet again, I go back to the old fucking saying, what I keep saying all the time. Sullivan has the final say. And
he does. But
so there's no buts about it, though, Clive. He has the final say. So
he has the final say. But you know, we were all very quick to blame Moyes, or well, some people were quick to blame Moyes. And I stated the other week on here, and I even said I think Newman's still got part to play in it. And then it's now come out that apparently Newman isn't on the way out, and he's also to deal with. We've got too many chefs in the kitchen for both for both recruitment, for signing players, for young players as well. We've got far too many chefs in the kitchen. And then we've got too many chefs in the kitchen for directors, which is what I've said for a numerous amount of years. I mean, we've had Gold and Sullivan, which, you know, ultimately, yes, they're always going to agree on things. But now we've got Gold's family, Sullivan and Kretinsky, which I've said is not a healthy situation at all. Because there's no agreeing on anything, ultimately. It's an absolute shit show across the board.
Right, Lucas, I'm gonna let you land. I know you're itching, bruv. Right?
He is.
I'll let you go.
No, I'm just flabbergasted at what Clive has said. It literally, we might as well get Tripp Smith out as well. Get him out. Get him out.
That's a different percentage. That's less than 10%.
He's a minority shareholder. Get him out.
He's not even a director, Lucas.
Mate, and then another problem I have, besides what you just said that I totally disagree with, people in the chat are saying Kretinsky doesn't want to buy the club. Do you honestly think David Sullivan went out and hired Tim Steiden? Planning for the future. That's 100% Daniel Kretinsky. 110%. But he only wants to be an investor. He doesn't want to own the club one day. Bollocks. Absolute shit.
Wait. So, Lucas, you're saying that Steiden is because of Kretinsky?
1,000%.
Right. Okay. So, fathom me this. Where does the buck end, according to James?
Sullivan.
Yeah. Okay. So, who hired him then?
Sullivan.
Ooh. Yeah. Exactly. So, do you not see how you've just absolutely taken out your own point?
Sullivan hiring Steiden has caused an absolute war zone.
Yeah.
Yes, but Steiden.
He shouldn't have been hired. Stein should not have been hired if this was going to happen.
You just said Kretinsky went and found him, which means that was a terrible decision by Kretinsky, surely.
Mate, anyone knows, or everyone knows this was going to happen if Stein came in. This was exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, but my point is you're saying Kretinsky was the one who found him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so then Kretinsky's also at fault. That's my point.
But I'll say this again.
Not really.
The final word.
He didn't. Mate, at the end of the day, David Sullivan hired Steiden. Is wrong or right?
Yeah, based
is.
off of
You're right.
based off.
Is there
of James,
not an absolute
yes,
war
but who
zone
found
going
him?
on between Steiden and Moyes? Who has caused that by the hiring?
No. Hold on. Because let's just bear in mind, a week ago or 10 days ago, we all thought Newman was fucking off, and Newman's still here. So you're telling me that Newman's not a part of it, of the issues?
Not necessarily.
I think so. Because what's
say
Newman's
this.
title? What's Newman's
Right, I
title?
just want to say this though, Clive. Yeah, but when you bring Steiden in, yeah, there must be a plan in place. Yeah, there has to have been a plan to bring Steiden in, because you don't just go out to Germany and pick the geezer out and say, "Oh, come here, mate," because like we want you as our technical director.
What I'm saying is the people. There's people in the chat saying that Kretinsky doesn't want to own this club one day and he's just an investor. That makes no sense, because there's no shot David Sullivan went out on his own accord and found Tim Steiden. That's absolute bollocks.
The one thing I'll agree with Lucas on is that he doesn't just want to be an investor, because he wouldn't own the percentage he does. Because if he owned the percentage that this, for argument's sake, let's say Trip Smith here, Trip Smith just wants to be an investor. Big difference. That's the point I was trying to make. Like you're saying, Trip Smith would also be
But at the end of the day, Kretinsky does not own the club. He doesn't make the final decision. He doesn't have the final say. And I get what you're saying. He does have a chunk of stake in the club, and his voice does matter. But Sullivan is pushing the buttons, making the bids. He's hiring people, even if it's not his own suggestion. He's causing this carnage.
I agree.
Yeah, but
at the end of the day, what can Kretinsky do? He can't stop David Sullivan from doing something.
But what, by one vote difference? Admittedly, you're right in that sense.
But whether it's one vote,
who will Karen Brady side with at the end of the day?
Obviously. But my point is, you're saying as if fucking Kretinsky owns as much as fucking Trip Smith. Let me just tell you what the difference between Trip Smith is.
My point is they're two
Trip Smith
minority
is
shareholders.
No. Trip Smith is a non-executive director. He doesn't even. Trip Smith is a non-executive director. That entitles him to zero voting process in terms of what goes on in the club. He's just a shareholder. The difference is Kretinsky owns more than gold.
Okay, I agree.
Right? That's exactly my point. You can't say that Kretinsky's not a fool just because he's a new fucking toy.
But
I can, because he doesn't have the final say on anything.
He doesn't have the final say, but you're saying
he does not run the club. David Sullivan owns West Ham United and makes the decisions.
Owns the majority of West Ham United, yes.
And makes the decisions.
And makes the final decision, yes.
Sullivan is the captain of the ship. Go on. Let you go, because I understand what Clive's saying. Don't get me wrong.
No, I do too. But at the end of the day, Sullivan makes the decisions. So it doesn't matter what Kretinsky thinks.
Clearly it does, because of Kretinsky, Steiden's here.
Yeah, but
apparently, people make out. Hold on, but people make out that's a bad thing. I thought we wanted to go in that direction of the Red Bull model. But people moan about the Red Bull model.
No,
right?
I've got no issue with the Red Bull model. But the only reason I have an issue with it is because you've still got Rob Newman. So then what's the point in Rob Newman?
But Rob Newman is irrelevant to the situation.
He is relevant.
Well, he isn't right now, though, Clive. Like, Steiden's... Hold on, Clive. But Steiden is in the firing line right now. So you've got a war between Steiden, Moyes, and Sullivan.
And by the way, I agree with the Steiden hiring, but the fact that this is all happening right now and Moyes is still here, not getting any of his targets, Steiden isn't getting any of his targets, that is David Sullivan's fault.
Yeah, and I agree. I do agree on that.
David Sullivan has created this absolute chaos. That is the bottom line. Whether I think Kretinsky is right for wanting Steiden or not, the bottom line is David Sullivan has created this chaos because he is the one that pushes the buttons. Did he take a suggestion from Kretinsky? Absolutely, because there's no shot he went out and found him himself. But he has created this scenario where he has pitted a director of football who is highly regarded against a manager who is set on his ways, who maybe if he was 20 years younger, maybe he'd change, but you're not changing a 65, 66-year-old managers' ways.
I don't get how you guys are saying that Newman isn't a part of this issue at all. The only reason Newman's been kept quiet is because everyone thought he was fucking off. But then you've got to question what the fucking point of Newman is. Because Newman is
you
head
can
of
question
recruitment.
that, Clive. You can question that, and you're got every right to. But Newman is not the topic of conversation, is it? Let's be
He
real.
should be. He should
Right?
be, because there's
He
nothing
should
to
be,
say that.
but it's not. Right?
But there's but there's nothing to say that Newman. Because for instance, I'll give this as an example. Right, Scamacca was most likely a Newman signing. No.
Right, Scamacca wasn't.
Scamacca was a Newman signing. Yeah,
yeah,
he was.
and then Scamacca's being shipped off by the looks of things, right? So then I don't see how we're not undoing. Oh wow, I can't even speak. How we're not undoing Newman's work from 12 months ago. We're basically undoing everyone's fucking work. What was the point in signing Newman 12 months ago? I reckon even in the background, Newman and fucking Steiden aren't getting on. That's what I'm saying. We might not fucking know yet, but we can't say that Newman's also absorbed off of this. There's too many chefs in the kitchen. There's three chefs. Moyes wants people. Newman wants people.
Who hired those chefs?
Mark Noble as well. It looks for players.
Yeah, Mark Noble as well in terms of youth. So then, I mean, at the end of the day, a director of football is supposed to be different to a fucking recruitment.
I agree.
And that means, ultimately, theoretically speaking, Steiden shouldn't actually be looking for players. That should be Newman's job.
What is Steiden's point then? What is up with these made-up jobs in football?
This
then?
is what I mean.
Well,
like a director of football,
what's he here for?
Recruiting. And it sounds like it's just
what's
recruiting.
Steiden doing? What is the point of Steiden if he shouldn't look for players? Isn't that his whole job?
Yeah, but you can't say that about Steiden, because we all wanted the red ball model. We was told we're going to go down the red ball model. We've just got in a geezer who can find talent all around Europe, right? And people knock him. People knock this geezer, right? This geezer's got a good track record, right? If you look at the players that he's found some good talent, right? And people are knocking him already. And for some crazy reason, Sullivan is the reason why it's all fucking falling apart.
But James,
go on.
I just want to ask Clive quick. If Steiden's not meant to look for players, which is what you just said, what is the point of him being here?
Well, I mean, Newman was the whole point of recruitment, right? So Steiden's job should have been, as director of football, it should be looking at other aspects for the club. It shouldn't be. It should be like, well, it should be improving the fucking, say, academy settings, stuff like that. So he should actually be working more alongside. It's not what he's been hired for. But as a director of football, that is supposedly what they're supposed to do.
No, he's not a director of football. Though. He's a technical director, whatever that means. He's not. All these.
I genuinely thought he came in as a director of football.
No,
so if he's
a
director,
I don't know how it's any different. These fancy job names need to go in the bin now. I'm sick of director of football as well. By the way, what does that even mean?
Because I mean, all right. So a director of football is also sometimes written as a sporting director or a technical director, senior management of football. Key task allegedly is managing transfers of players to and from the team. But then you'd have to say, what's the point of head of recruitment? It makes no sense. None of this makes sense.
It's a load of crap. And then you got Noble as well. Let's be honest.
I agree. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, there really is. And, again, I come back to the point. Whose fault is that?
Head of recruitment is supposed to look at the strategic vision and purpose.
Right.
And should be recruiting players according to the club's profiling requirements.
But I'm going to be honest here, yeah. Sullivan's not looking to the future, right? He's not going to, right? Listen, in 5 years' time, he ain't going to be here, Sullivan. I'll be very, very shocked if he's still here in 5 years' time. But
I'll do you one better. It'll be his fucking kid, and he'll be talking about the 7 million transfers they tried to do on Twitter.
You know, it's fucking madness.
And if people don't want to blame Sullivan for any of this, why is it that he's going in 50% off what clubs want for Moyes' targets, but he hasn't done anything for Steiden's targets?
I already said that to you before, didn't I?
Well, my connection or everyone's connection is absolute dog right now, so I probably missed it. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I'm saying like in previous episodes on here, like I'm saying like in terms of what was done, it was so Moyes got the blame, which the fan base started doing, didn't they? They started blaming Moyes. saying that he was a dinosaur versus what Steiden wanted, right? The whole purpose was, oh, look, we tried for David Moyes. We really did. We put in the bids, but we put in lowball bids in order to go, oh, well, we tried.
Yeah, but who sanctions them bids, Clive?
Yeah, Sullivan, obviously, but
right. So Sullivan's the problem.
It's not only but it's not only just his money. Obviously, that'd be Kretinsky's money as well.
Yeah, but you can't keep saying about fucking Kretinsky when Sullivan has the
I'm saying but I'm saying they both have to agree in terms of what's going to be spent in terms of money, because ultimately that is Kretinsky's money in there as well. Like, imagine if I said to you, James, like, by the way, I've just put in a 25 million bid. Cheers for the 7 million. But by the way, it's for JWP, which you hate. But thanks for your 7 million. Do you see what I mean? Like, it would still have to be agreed between the two.
Mate, if someone give me 7 million, I'd be fucking over the moon.
Yeah, but that's 7 million, and I'm putting in the rest basically because I'd be majority owner, right? That's the point I'm making. So, like, I guess we're always going to be slower on terms of transfers because we have to get about 6 million people to say yes first before we even fucking get a bid in.
We'll start asking each fan one by one in the end. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's a mess. It's just an absolute shit show. But I'm not, like I say, I'm not trying to absolve Sullivan out of anything. I'm just saying I don't think we look any better even without Sullivan, which I know sounds awful, but it's genuinely how I feel.
I think we would. I think it's impossible not to look better. Like, Sullivan is he's so bad, it's unbelievable. He doesn't have a. How did he become a billionaire? I know it was dodgy what he's done, but I mean, seriously,
mate. If we ask some supporters of this fan base their opinion and they go with it, we are absolutely screwed. Like East Side views, we'd be in the mud by now.
It's just a shit show. We're just a shit show. But I mean, look, if you're a player right now, you would not want to go to West Ham United, would you? Like, realistically, we look
for many reasons.
But that's what I mean. We just look embarrassing. Like, right now, we look like we don't even know what we're fucking doing. Like, we just everything's a mess. I mean, you got players that were there 12 months ago that already want to go.
No, no.
I mean, what does that say?
I'm gutted. Like, let's be honest, this is not what we signed up for. It's just not. Like, I don't care what anyone says. After June the 7th, I did not expect West Ham to be like this. I thought West Ham would have took the basically winning the trophy and gone, right, this is the we want to maintain this now and sort of go on and like do well in Europa League. At this rate, I don't think we're going to get relegated, but it's going to. Let's be honest. Are you happy about the season starting in 11 days' time, Clive?
I mean, look, I'm not happy about our fixtures and what order we've got. And ideally, I'd like to have 1 or 2 new players in there. Yeah, 100%. But to be honest, I'm more worried about the attacking prowess or the lack of attacking prowess we've got. Because if we lose Scamacca in the next 3 or 4 days, which I reckon we will, then I don't really. I mean, look, we're putting all our eggs into Antonio, Ings, and Mbama, which, I mean, doesn't really fill me with much hope when Antonio's like 34, gets injured more often. I'm kind of, if we can't score, not to sound like Michael Owen, but if we can't score goals, we ain't going to win.
See, I agree with this comment here, and I've got to get to speak in the green room. It's the worst thing that's happened to us is winning the trophy. It gave Moyes leverage and vindication Sullivan for keeping it.
See, and while I do agree with that, at the end of the day, like if you're Sullivan, it really shouldn't matter if it's a good look or bad look. Do I agree? Firing or sacking a manager after they just won you your first trophy in 43 years, is that a bad look? Yes, but if it's for the benefit of the club and the vision that you have, say if Sullivan didn't know about Steiden and wanted to build the vision, which I highly doubt, you should sack him. I don't care if it's a good or bad look. An owner is supposed to have bollocks and make the tough decisions.
I think
Sullivan does not.
Well, which says a lot about you, Exponential Anger. But quickly, Everyone, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and become a member of it. Each on his own TV for as little as 99p. You can watch exclusive members content coming soon, including tactical analysis, and you get your own little badge on the member shows, and it will show up that you're a member on each show. So become a member now or forever hold your peace.
Thank you very much, Alf. I
Well
was
said,
going to
Alf.
do that, but he's got in there first. Clive, anything else you want to say before I let you go?
No, that is it. That is me sorted. I'm
Clive,
very content.
Clive, I love you.
I love you too, Lucas.
Clive, you're all right, mate. But, yeah,
But we're
In a
going to
bit.
get Damari Gray, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Get
Get in, Damari Gray.
Well,
I'll tell you
quite-
what. The only thing positive about Damari Gray is that he's Jamaican. That's about it.
Fucking whatever, mate, innit? Right, let's get Adam in. Let's see what Adam's got to say. Adam, how you doing, mate? Long time no speak. Last time we spoke, we won a trophy. Now we're losing all our players.
I hope you're well, Adam.
Oh, what a lovely Tuesday.
Just a normal Tuesday.
Come on, mate.
It is long time no speak. Do you know what? I'm in the same mindset that you are. You know, you think of, you rewind the clock back and you think, right, we just won a European trophy, not won a trophy in over 40 years. Bus parades, everyone is on a high. And then the next exact day, Sullivan says, right, we're selling Declan Rice. Pretty much tries to downplay everyone's excitement. We sell Declan Rice. And now players want to leave, coaches are leaving. And I don't understand how within a month we've gone from not even a month, like a couple of weeks, from such a high to probably one of the lowest lows yet.
If you don't laugh, you cry.
I agree with that.
It's a shambles though, because you saw the celebrations and it's just like Sullivan, he just loves just making us depressed and upset. And it's just one of those things where, you know, Clive was just talking about Kretinsky and other ones, people getting involved, like Newman, whatever. At the end of the day, there is one man that steers this ship, and it's David Sullivan. And when you've got the captain of that ship not actually knowing what to do, then it's a complete shit show. It is. Oh, where are we going, Captain? Oh, I don't know. This map is ruined. I have no
Mind
idea.
you, second person in command is Karen fucking Brady.
Oh God, Jesus! Like, you're not kidding.
I've got to get to this comment. I've got to get to this comment. But West Ham fans love to be depressed and upset. Sullivan is supplying the ammunition. No, Sullivan needs to be thrown out the door, head first.
Mate, he needs to be fed to the sharks.
Like, I'm sorry, but I can't keep hearing about us fans. Us fans will support the club long fucking when Sullivan's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just poor. Go on, man.
I keep going back to what I said before. The reason that we moved in the first place was we were going to take the next step. That we were going to take that next step to just be on that next level. And yet I still say the same thing. When with Sullivan in charge, we will not do that. We've won a European trophy, yes, but even I'd see people that still downplay it and still go, oh, but it's a third tier, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But we will not take that next step until he is gone. It's true. I don't want to be that guy, but when... Huh?
Which is why people shouldn't hate on Moyes so much.
I don't think it's David Moyes' fault. I really don't think it is. Sullivan got Newman through the door.
Yep.
That seemed to have a bit of a conflict. I was hearing stories, but I don't know if they were true. And now, obviously, with Tim now coming in, there's things going on there. He's the man appointing everybody. I don't even know what Noble's job is at this point. Like I said, too many chefs in one kitchen.
I don't know.
With him in charge, it's just a mess. He doesn't even know what we want to do this summer window. I'm on the Tim boat of I want younger players in.
Yes.
And I know you guys have been talking about it for a while when I've seen your videos about what you want that next step to be for West Ham. I'm sort of on the line of, yes, we need younger players, for better resale value, but we need a little bit of experience as well, a mix of the two. But it seems like we're stuck between this, just nothing. We don't know what we want to do. At the end of the day, you either back or sack your manager, or you hire the person you got in. You said, right, here you go, Tim. We're going to get these lot.
Yeah, but what makes me laugh is I see it in the chat there, yeah? I'm sitting there just chilled, yeah? Because I'm not going to let West Ham fucking drive me into the ground, yeah? People saying, oh, everyone's getting upset about, like, a Manchester City player. If we can't sign a £14 million Manchester City fucking youth player, right, then who can we sign? And the problem is, do you have any faith, right, and trust in Sullivan to do the right thing? Because I certainly never. You can never trust Sullivan. Now, people will say about, oh, Sullivan's this, Sullivan's that, and give Moyes a pass. I can understand that. When you're putting low ball bids in each time, like a team wants 80 million and you're dropping in fucking 40 million for Paulinho, and with no serious attempt to sign the man.
Might as well kiss Taylor Harwood-Bellis goodbye as well.
Yeah.
I know, but it's like, it's a worrying fucking sign, right? And if you're not worried, you're just fucking deluded, in my opinion.
Mate,
you've got to be on severe crack.
See, now we're like, obviously everyone has an opinion. They can back their own opinion. But now we're worried. Everyone was worried for some of the wrong reasons, but it's their opinion. But now it's an actual issue that has now intensified incredibly, because the news that has come out about all this is absolutely disgraceful. Like,
at least no, but come on, we're gonna get Damari Gray through the door.
Yes, thank God. Thank God. And the thing is, I really like Tim Stein. I love what he's done throughout his years, whatever he's done. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I've known the guy, but I've seen who he scouted and stuff like that. I love the idea of him. I want him at this club, but David Sullivan literally can't bring people together. So why? Yeah. It just, I guarantee you he knew this would happen, right? And I'm not saying he's done this on purpose, but he's just a fucking div. He's not smart. Look at where he's made his money. He's not a smart man. I think any of us could have done what he done in the game that he was involved in. It's not rocket science. And the fact that he can own a football club it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Alf, be honest, right? Listen, I'm not even saying this, yeah, but you've backed Moyes up, yeah? And people will be going at Moyes now and saying, Moyes this, Moyes that. Right, for once in my life, which is quite a shock, I actually agree with you on this one. I really do. This is not on Moyes anymore. This is on Sullivan.
Moyes is an easy target. I do think that a lot of the blame that Moyes gets is because people don't like his personality. Truthfully, I think that is a lot of the reason. It is on David Sullivan. With or without Moyes, we're a disaster. Do you seriously, and by the way, this is another reason I'm Moyes in, do people seriously think Sullivan's going to go out and get someone like Xabi Alonso or some exciting coach? No, it'll be Rafa Benitez or some fatty that sits at the back.
Mate,
he's about as intelligent as he is tall, David Sullivan.
And then the whole thing as well with that Daniel Kretinsky doesn't want to own this club. And like I've said before, Tim Stein has come in on the accord of Kretinsky, in my opinion. I think that's a fact. Obviously it's not, but that I'm very strong about that opinion. And Tim Stein is going to be the one that hires the next manager. And there's no way that I can't. Just the whole Sullivan Kretinsky thing really has me just absolutely seething, because I can't. After everything we've gone through, after everything we know about Sullivan, how can you say that Kretinsky doesn't have interest in owning the club or would be a better owner than Sullivan? I think it's beyond the realms of
basically,
logic.
Kretinsky will never be able to do what Sullivan done, because what Sullivan has done is took us out of our spiritual home and put us in the LS. Simple as that, right? So he will never be able to do that.
X is saying there's been progression with one deal. I suspect this player will be James Ward-Prowse from Southampton.
Well, what it is, I think someone just said it there. Sakaria. Looks like it's on the,
Maybe him, yeah.
but then
Yeah,
not
that'd be
Sakaria.
until
the
he's in
only
the
thing
West
that
Ham
was come
shirt.
out today will be that and Paqueta's tweet earlier owning that complete clown Alex Crook on TalkSport.
I've never trusted TalkSport, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know, mate.
So they just
Adam,
make up
anything
so
else?
much shit.
Anything else you want to say, mate, before I let you go?
Pray.
Yeah, I think all we can do is just maybe is hope and pray. It's just what I don't get is just that the owner himself is even throwing a hissy fit, and yet he's the guy that's in charge.
Yeah.
It's just an absolute travesty. It really is. I think we're just gonna have to pray and hope, gentlemen. I really do. I think
I'll go to church early. I'll go on Wednesday. I'll go tomorrow. I swear I will.
I think we will get signings in, but it'll be very quick panic buys. I can't wait to bid for like 24 million on Harry Maguire and get it rejected again. And just all these stupid little silly bids that we put in. But I think we will get people in, but it'll be literally last couple of days, quick panic buys. And yeah, that's how I think it's gonna be, to be honest.
Lads, how does this sound? 11 for next season, I can see it. Picture this. Tell me.
I don't want to hear it unless Damari Gray's on the wing.
I want to hear it. I'm going to let Adam go because we're today waiting. Go on.
Fabianski, not a bad start. Soufal, Zuma, Aged, Emerson, Flynn Downs, James Ward-Prowse, Lucas Paqueta, Damari Gray, Mikel Antonio, Jarrod Bowen.
That is a team that is hungry to win and challenge.
We're going to be challenging for top 6 for that team. Do you know what? Adam, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thanks a lot for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on, Adam. It's always a pleasure.
That was Adam.
Signing James Ward-Prowse is pushing Adrian over the edge. He says he's not going to watch our games anymore.
The thing is, right? Whoever it is, whether it's Sakaria or it's James Ward-Prowse, one thing that has got to happen is it's got to be fucking done. It's got to be done. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny. George says, "Here, James, what is your aim for next season?" Well, to sign some fucking players to be a star.
Mate, I can't even see the vision till I don't even have a vision for November or October. My vision is tomorrow. Like, right. I'm living for tomorrow, praying that something good happens at this club.
We shouldn't be 11 fucking days out, right? And then hoping that someone's going to sign for us. That's fucking embarrassing. We're hoping that someone's going to sign. Well, like, please, Sakaria, or please, fucking JWP, sign for West Ham.
And mind you, this is the same Dennis Zakaria that's been reported. He wants to come to West Ham. We've taken how long now with this deal?
A decade.
This took fucking forever, mate. But here is Sir Daddy. You know what I mean? What do you want to say, Sir Daddy?
Hello there. I want to talk about the Borges thing real quick and about all the PR that's been going on. So I assume for a few days at least that he was going to get close with Ajax. And this morning, X puts on a post about excuses, PR, why he's not here. Oh, he's on holiday. Baloney. He said he were on preseason in North Korea. Oh, we can't sign him. A few weeks ago, it was, we were in Australia, so we couldn't sign anybody. Biggest bunch of baloney. All PR.
I must admit, Sir Daddy, I do really like X, but why have I had this holiday excuse for them?
Yeah, no, Borges is going to Ajax, so why can't he go to this biggest bunch of baloney? Then he gets Sullivan goes to what's his name? The one guy he broke the side and stuff. Hey, go write this article blaming Moyes. It's all PR. like Steinberg.
Listen, take your time, man. Breathe, bro. Because
it was Jacob Steinberg who puts out this article. Moyes and Stein and Sullivan probably told him to write it. And Claire and Hugh, that's Sullivan's telling him to write these stories. He's blaming.
You know what? Honestly, sorry to cut you off, but the other day was absolutely hilarious when Clarendon Hugh, tweeted the Mark Noble video of that this club isn't like a circus anymore, and everyone knew. The fact that they tweeted that video had to have meant things are really bad up there.
Another Claire and Hugh tweet. He tweeted yesterday that what's his name? Newman's still at the club, and despite reports, you reported it. Claire, you were the ones who reported he had left the club.
And real quick.
Do you remember they also reported that we were going to sell Lanzini for $6 million? And
oh my god! And then Alex Crook said Paulinho had a release clause.
Oh, mate, Alex Crook is the biggest fake news going. That guy just rides everyone else's coattails. That's literally his job.
And then his excuse on Twitter.
I was literally about to read this out loud. Thank you, Tom.
What's it called? Yeah, I saw his excuse. It's like I used a different word. The word meant the same thing. Like the definition of the word is actually the same thing. Wanting to go.
He said Paqueta is not unhappy at West Ham. He's just not entirely enamoured.
That is the dumbest tweet I've ever heard. And I have to bring in some brilliance here real quick. So Darmesh has tweeted, West Ham United increasingly optimistic they can close the deal for Southampton captain James Ward-Prowse. First bid worth $20 million rejected. Now talks advanced. West Ham encouraged by players' desire to join. And then someone right under says, until Ajax come in. Beautiful stuff.
Bro, I'm not surprised, but apparently that deal was off yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if he's bringing that deal back on because he's missing out on Borges. Sullivan.
Yeah. Right.
Absolute clown.
Right,
agreed,
I'm going to let you go, have some oxygen, chill out, and have a nice Tuesday night, because I'm not going to let you have a fucking cardiac arrest.
Oh, mate, sorry. It's 1:55 p.m. on the East Coast. We've got a whole day ahead of us.
Get fucking shut down, mate, for giving you a cardiac arrest, bro. So
that's a bit of good news, that Ward-Prowse thing. I'm happy about that. But I wanted Borges was we want some young players. Yes, we're getting Ward-Prowse, but flipping hell, like seriously, I was finally excited about one young player.
Right, I'm going to bring in someone else, yeah? So,
let's bring him in.
Yeah, mate. Talk to me.
Is that me right now, talking to...
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. So we got, like, Post Malone on one side, and we got fucking Mac Miller on the other. That's pretty cool.
I know, mate. I know. What do you say about West Ham, man?
West Ham, well, they got the right players, the right squad. They just have to put them in the right spot. All these naysays about new signings, no signings, people leaving, whatever. Who cares? What we've got is a good squad that can really do well if the coach is not what he's doing.
So you're happy with the squad as it is?
Not really. I've got lag on my feedback. I can hear myself again, but like, I'm not happy that he hasn't signed any people. But like, the truth is, he's got the right players there if he uses them in the right spots.
Right.
Simple as that.
But the thing is, though, right, I understand that. But when you've just won a trophy, and this is our best moment that we've had for 43 years, sometimes you've got to look at the bigger picture and go, right, are you going to invest now in the squad to make us stronger than we've ever been? Obviously, we've lost Beck, which is a major heartbeat to West Ham. Surely now would be the time. And it ain't so much losing targets that I can sort of get the ump with. It's how we're losing targets.
Yes, it's all about the fashion that it's being done.
Yeah,
it's just fucking embarrassing.
It's more the way it's being done. Yeah, West Ham should not be acting like this 11 days out from the start of the new season, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but it's not right. Like, proper clubs don't act like this. Do you know what I mean? And having like ballroom staff and everything. Do you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. I don't know what you think.
So what are we going to do if they sign no one like last year? Then you have to do what you got.
Yeah.
So you just got to change them up.
The thing is,
Kera, Johnson, they're people that were like a bit iffy last year. Just move them to other spots. Central midfield, cover Deck, cover Socek. You know, Socek probably like maybe even the captain. We wouldn't be surprised, would we?
well, I'll tell
my
you,
favorite player, and you know what? He's a donkey at times, but he always gives it. Sufal, another one. Donkey gives it. Zuma injured, comes back, gives it. You can see him limping every game.
yeah, I know, mate. I know. Alf.
Good, fantastic, but when he loses track of where his people are, what happens? He makes little farts, and we fucked up a few times with him, but he's been one of our best defenders.
The thing is,
and then even Emerson, when we use the 5, which no one likes, I don't like it either. But like Emerson, his attacking now is fantastic. His defending is shit. He's fast enough to get back, but he's dumb as shit. Whereas Cresswell, he's too old now. He goes forward fantastically, can't get back either, but he's smart defending. So he eventually gets back there, but he's too old now. So we should sell him.
I know what you're saying, man. Alfie, what do you make of what the gentleman's just said?
I think he speaks well. I think he's right in what he said.
He's got a great taste in music as well.
Yeah,
fair play.
I think his player assessment is correct. So what he said about Emerson, I agree. Although I have to eat a bit of humble pie at the moment. I'm a very objective person, I will admit. Emerson is, I think he's probably proven me wrong. I think he's been excellent in pre-season. Was unreal in the cup final, but I hope he can.
Keep getting the lag, but that's all right.
I thought he was terrible in the league last year, so let's hope he can.
Flint Downs, good guy.
Flint Downs been better in pre-season.
Keep him there. Socek, maybe move him up. If you have like a shitter team, move him up because you know he can control it enough. He's like I've said it before. He's an old school striker in his mind. That's what he wanted to be. But he's too slow or whatever. Or he hasn't had the opportunity.
We might have to end up playing him up front.
Yeah. Well, no fucking choice. Do you know what I'm saying? Anything else that you want to add, mate, before I let you go?
Okay, fair enough. It was a pretty good first go from Australia. Peace up to Post Malone and fucking Mac Miller. Best guys I've seen for ages. I listen to your stuff all the time, but it's like because of the time difference, it's like by the time I hear it, I'm like, fuck, I didn't get a chance to say something. But the truth is, we got a good squad. If we keep Scamacca and Ings, he can fuck off. But like Ings, even behind him, if you're not going to use my favorite player of all, Ben Rama, just behind.
Oh.
2 strikers, Ben Rama.
Oh no!
I like this guys already.
Hit in the back too. Fantastic. But
oh dear,
you know, Moyes, he might need to have a new girlfriend or some shit, or a new wife or something to make him feel happier about his life and like get adventurous.
Yeah, I hear.
Next time I see you guys, you better fucking remember. Australia.
Well,
always remember.
Peace up.
Take care, man.
Shout out to Big Mig, absolute legend, and the fact that he even knows who Post Malone and Mac Miller is absolutely unreal. I love that. And Fever, you do kind of look a little like Mac Miller. You probably don't know who that is, but
also, can we?
I'll take anything better.
It's a compliment for sure.
Before we wrap up, can we discuss that Ward-Prowse deal? I know we've gone over it before, but I was away, so I didn't really get to be involved in the conversation.
We still got it, or actually, no. I think we're never mind. We can do that. I was trying to think if we even covered Scamacca and Paqueta through the fire of what we've just gone through.
Go on now.
Scamacca can do one, but Ward-Prowse, he's a right centre mid, obviously. So what does that mean for Souček?
I don't know, mate. I just don't fucking know. I really don't.
Mate, preference is out the absolute window right now, as far as I'm concerned. I want live bodies at West Ham United, at Rush Green. Like the only good thing that's come of this, like, and don't get me wrong, Alfie knows, I'm a huge advocate for James Ward-Prowse, but like in the fashion that this has happened, like I'm not even like I can't even get excited. Like it's just it's a bummer. It really is. But sorry, Alfie. What was your main question? I'm just so
on Suchet.
I'm in a fire rage.
Happen? What do you reckon will happen on Suchet?
I think he goes in a 3-man midfield. I don't think he's going further forward, because I just don't see it. I just don't see it there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a big one, really. Let's be honest, because Suchet's got to perform this year because he ain't got Declan Rice on his hand there. That's the first thing. Like, so he's going to have to turn up in games and not just score a goal, and that's it. He needs to do a bit more than just score a goal. He needs to be on the ball quite a lot and controllable.
And I think we can all agree as well. Souček, if you had to pick where he is on the pitch, right, doing his daily work or his weekly work, I want to see him further up the pitch in the box, putting his head on the ball, tapping in goals, making it rough for other center halves. So we've got to figure out a way to integrate that, because as much as I love Souček, I really do. Like, him in the midfield, it's an issue because he can't retain the ball and he can't pass. Like he can't do the business. It's 2 seasons in a row now where he can't do the midfield job. The first season, obviously, that he was here was a lot better because he banged in 10 goals, and you can almost get away with some of your flaws. But there's gonna have to be something figured out with him in the midfield, especially if James Ward-Prowse comes, because I agree with Fever that even though he doesn't rate James Ward-Prowse as highly as I do, he is not the most athletic chap going. Yeah. And if we do turn the ball over in the midfield, yeah, he's going to bust his gut to get back. But just because you bust your gut doesn't mean you're fast, you have pace, and all that. That you can't teach that. So, yeah, this is so stressful. I love James Ward-Prowse, and if he comes, I'll be happy, but not as happy as I thought.
Will you kiss him, Lucas?
I would. I actually would. I love the guy.
The thing is, right, I just think we need to see signings. That's I know it's like the old cliche, but it's obvious. But we need to see people at the club to give us a bit of hope, like a bit of
yes. Like, and you can't do anything until the player is here, holding the kit, boots on the ground. If you're not boots on the ground, what the hell can you do?
I think today's really sort of done a lot of people, if I'm being honest. If I'm being really honest, when you can't get a deal over the line, and let's be honest, you should have got Borges over the line, like, easily. Like, that should have been done. And what it is, it's the lies. I don't think people like the lies that are being told. Like,
yes,
and all that, because that's just wrong.
And that's another thing. And again, I this will be the last time I talk about Kretinsky. Yeah, regardless of your opinions on him and if he was our owner, you think he's shit or not. In my opinion, Daniel Kretinsky, he would literally supply the money and be so bluntly straight up. To me, he seems like the type of guy that, listen, this is the money you have. I'm not giving you a penny more, and I'm going to let you do what you want with it. David Sullivan is not that type of guy. He's going to manipulate things. He's going to try and appease someone to a point and try to rationalize why he's feeding them just a little bit. And I agree. I'm sick of the lies. I want an owner that is just straight up, blunt, and at the end of the day has bollocks to make a decision. Because at the end of the day, like I said before, is it a bad look to sack a manager who has helped you survive relegation, finish 6th and 7th, and he just brought you a European Cup, first trophy in 43 years? Is it a bad look to sack him after that? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, if he is not following the vision that you want, you are the owner. You are in charge to make those tough decisions. Would I have been happy if Moyes got sacked after doing that? Probably not. But if Sullivan come out and says the words, he doesn't align with what we want to do going forward, I can understand. But David Sullivan is an absolute see you next Tuesday.
I'm gonna say this, yeah, what George has said here, yeah. I'm gonna ask this to you, Alf, yeah. Can James Ward-Prowse and Souček play together?
Yeah, I think they can. I don't know how, but I actually think that I was thinking a Ward-Prowse cross or a free kick with Souček in the middle is a recipe for beating top teams, because obviously we're going to struggle against top teams.
Right.
But I think to do that, you probably have to play Souček on the left and move Paqueta more central.
Good old Ray. Ray's come in with some news. Ashton Ashby's Newcastle dreamer is all but over. He's on the verge of joining Swansea.
But
get in line with Ngakia, mate.
It's on but it is on loan, and Newcastle fans were actually saying, I've got to be fair to Ashby, I was seeing on Twitter they were fuming about it because apparently he was unreal in pre-season.
Well, you know. Let's talk
Where's
about...
the 2 million from him gone?
I know. I'm just drained, mate. I'm drained.
And I'm sorry, I make Adrian right here. Like, literally, the only thing Kretinsky can do is keep pouring money in. And why does he want to keep giving money to David Sullivan, who doesn't know what the fuck to do with it? You know, it just doesn't make any sense, in my opinion.
Well, you know, it is just bad, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's just bad all over. Let's talk about today. Right, a bit funny earlier on, wasn't it? Everyone's listen. I fell for the Talk Sport shit, so I got to eat some humble pie. I was a bit nervous. I was thinking, "Fuck, what's going on at this club?" Right, and then Talk Sport decided to say that Lucas Paqueta was unhappy at the club, and then Lucas Paqueta, being the Brazilian maestro that he is,
you know what? We are going to end off on that, because that is the only positive that's happened today. And you know what? Even though it was a very small light at the end of the tunnel of what has happened today, I could not be more happier. That is exactly what I expect from players of this club.
I will say this, like that was how to sort of ease the fans' worry was brilliant.
The only thing he could have done better is he called into TalkSport himself and then said in Portuguese, "You're chatting absolute shit, you crook."
Alf, before we go, what do you make of that earlier?
Brilliant from Paqueta. I did say when the report came out that Alex Crook is full of it, and I was right. He is full of it. I remember I couldn't remember exactly what it was. I wish I remembered, but there was a report. I think it was on Southampton that he did last year, which someone on Twitter literally made up, and the guy literally exposed Alex Crook, and everyone was laughing about it. I can't remember what it was, but he literally just steals stories off other journalists or guesses.
Mate,
so
he literally just rides the coattails of
I've never seen him get anything right about West Ham. I think he said Ngakia was going to sign a new contract a few years ago, and he didn't. So no one listen to him, please. If his name pops up again, do not listen to Alex Crook. He's genuinely, he's worse than Tay. Tay has got better sources than him.
No, Tay is better than Crook. By a mile.
Yeah, I will say that. Crook by name, Crook by nature. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, gentlemen. Listen, I've had over 240 people in the chat today. It's been a pretty good show. I want to thank everyone who come on today. Yeah, all the boys who come on today and spoke their mind about West Ham. Listen, we all care, right? We all care about this club of ours. Do you know what I mean? And we are all concerned at the minute, but let's just hope for some fucking positivity by the end of the week, like, because we need it. Like, we can't keep seeing bad and not seeing nothing good coming out of the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, big up to all the people who come on. Please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you want to become a member, do become a member. It helps us out, supports the channel. Lucas, any final words?
As always, after these shows, I thank everyone for their participation in the chat, coming on. It's much appreciated. Without you guys, we'd really be nothing. We'd just be talking to ourselves on the internet, and no one likes doing that. But like Fever said, if you want to become a member, we've got 2 tiers. We've got some really cool content coming to you guys, and the emotes are absolutely banging in the chat. Yeah. So that helps support us. And thank you from Steve for the donation as well. Absolute
Big
top
up,
man.
Steve. Alf, finally, from you.
Don't go changing. Smile every day. Support others. Speak up for yourself. Follow the West Ham.
You know what?
it's good.
I think that we're not going to speak another word until next time.
Mate,